Well, here it is. An entry-level version of the Mercedes-Benz G-Class has finally arrived in Australia. This is the G400D, and I'll be honest with you, there is nothing entry-level about it. The G-Class has become the unofficial SUV to the stars, both here in Australia and abroad, and even without a rumbling V8, this one fits that bill perfectly.
The G-wagen, or Gelände wagon, has become a cult car in recent years, and for most, it is the AMG tweaked G63 that is top of mind, the car of choice for rappers and A-listers alike. However, orders for the G63 in Australia have temporarily ceased amid unprecedented global demand. The SUV originally destined to address some of the shortage is this, the G400D. Bearing extensive changes brought by the second generation G-Class update in 2018, the diesel-powered G400D lowers the price of entry in Australia by $100,000 compared to the G63. It gives away little in terms of safety, equipment or street presence, and like the AMG version, it is also sold out as soon as it goes on sale, with all new orders subject to an estimated 12-month wait time.
Now I have to say, even without the side pipes or the requisite AMG badging, the G400D still gives off a really profound first impression when you see it in the skin. Bold, striking, you simply cannot miss it out on the street. In the same vein, the inline turbo diesel 6-cylinder engine does a pretty darn good interpretation of an AMG V8 as well. 243 kilowatts, 700 Newton meters. It's officially the most powerful diesel engine fitted to a Mercedes-Benz, and not surprisingly, it doesn't hang around.
The beefy diesel engine is matched to a 9-speed automatic transmission with a low-range transfer case and full-time 4-wheel drive. 3 differential locks bring plenty of off-road ability as well. On-road, the diesel can turn around a respectable 6.4 second sprint to triple figures, 1.9 seconds shy of the dearer AMG version.
The interior is pretty mega as well, if I'm honest. It's airy, it's full of storage options, and it treads this fine line between old school cool and up to the minute in terms of its safety and technology. Above all else though, the G-Class cabin is sumptuous and it's luxurious. There are quality furnishings at all the contact points, a nice mix of materials, and these really swish and up-to-date 12.3 inch screen. This one controls all of the driver settings. You can toggle through the different menus, get different layouts to the screen, whereas the left side controls your infotainment, your sat-nav, the other commands. My one bugbear, there's no touchscreen capability, unfortunately. It has the old command style rotary dial, so you have to use that to navigate through all the screens. But otherwise, everything else feels up to date. It's a car that pretty much any modern Benz owner could jump into and feel at home in right away.
The left-hand screen is also home to forward, reverse and overhead cameras, helping offset the G-Wagon's sizable 4.86 metre length, while an arsenal of hardwired buttons on the centre fascia ensure you don't have to toggle through a touchscreen menu for basic climate control commands. There's no head-up display or wireless phone charging to speak of, but 3 USB points across the cabin, a cranking Burmester sound system plus loads of storage help win back valuable points. On the safety front, the G400D ticks all the important boxes and comes backed by a 5-star ANCAP rating.
Headroom for days, adequate shoulder room, a little bit limited in terms of legroom. There's no doubt that the boxy profile of the G400D does impose some spatial compromises inside, and nowhere is that more evident than the boot space. 667 litres officially, but in person it's clear there are some limitations in terms of the boot layout. You probably fit 2, maybe 3 full-size suitcases if they're stacked on top of one another, or a full-size designer pram, but otherwise it's clear there is some compromises at play. Of course, you can stow the rear seat, which liberates a whole lot more space, but if you're going out on a family trip, that's one thing to keep in mind.
A large gas strut means the rear barn door is easy to operate. In terms of the second row, a large glasshouse area and low set window line combine with roomy, considered proportions. The rear seat base flips forward, allowing the backrest to fold almost flat.
For all of its size and weight, the G400D is a cinch to drive out on the road. Light, low-speed steering, real driveline refinement, and just a sense of control and composure in all road conditions. It might give off a bit of a truck-like vibe with its exterior styling and its robust underpinnings, but it feels much closer to a conventional SUV than a truck on the road. Now noted, you do feel as though you're in something a little bit more top heavy than a conventional high rider, but with that said, it does retain its composure and its control on all road surfaces.
The beefy turbo diesel engine is central to the G-Wagon's approachable manners, civilised at low speed and devoid of any lag. It's a perfect match for such a large, robust vehicle, managing a respectable 10 litres per 100 Ks on test.
The diesel engine is quite simply a peach on the road. That peak torque figure of 700 Newton meters materialises from just 1200 RPM. The translation is rich, seamless torque, pretty much at all speeds. And the engine works really well with the 9-speed automatic transmission to just give you a constant surge of go forward in all scenarios. The diesel has no qualms putting the hammer down either. You put the foot down from a standstill and there's this smooth, almost boundless surge of torque and go forward. And even when you're up to speed, if you need to make an overtaking maneuver or anything else, it simply drops a couple of cogs and off it goes. Better yet, it does so without any typical diesel clatter or oil burning soundtrack. It's really a really rich engine that works quite well, and it's really refined at all times.
Riding on a rugged ladder frame chassis, the G-Class bolsters its refinement with standard adaptive suspension that offers more adjustment and control than passive shock absorbers.
The upshot of all that technology is that the G-Class feels supremely comfortable on all road surfaces. It dispatches highway runs with no fuss whatsoever, and even B-grade country roads like I'm driving at the moment, it simply wafts along and soaks up the imperfections underneath. It sometimes takes a couple of goes to settle itself over big washouts, but pitter-patter imperfections are just dealt with superbly, and it's a vehicle that just feels inherently controlled and composed at all times. Same goes with its handling qualities as well. You can pitch it into a corner a little bit hot, you can throw it in and use a little bit more abrupt steering than you would otherwise, and even then it just hunkers down, deals with it really well, and it's quite a feat of engineering given the mass that's at play.
Despite its fancy finish, the G-Class 4 goes nothing off-road, with those 3 differential locks and a low-range transfer case that can be engaged on the move. We didn't venture too far off the beaten track during our 3 days of testing, but across a couple of basic climbs and a modest water crossing, the G-Class did everything it said on the box. Benz's legendary off-roader is backed by a 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty, while servicing is spaced across 12-month, 20,000 K intervals.
Even without an AMG badge, I reckon the G400D gives away very little on its better-known G63 sibling out on the road.
However, despite the hefty $230,000 price tag, it seems the biggest issue will be getting your hands on one, with an estimated 12-month wait for new stock.